We're not recording. We are recording. Well, welcome everybody to I Can Achieve TV. It is a December morning, a bit blustery out there in the world of the UK. And we are so lucky today to have a really good friend of mine with us. We've been working together, for a couple of months, really.
More than that.
8 months, 9 months. God, doesn't time go? Just disappears, absolutely disappears. It's that lockdown thing, isn't it? 2020, nobody knows what day we're on. So we are a little bit mad. But Lou, my darling, you are, in my eyes, the singing zookeeper, and you have a lovely picture of a huffle and a thing singing behind you. And we're here just to chat, really, and catch up with each other. So everybody's in our conversation. That's quite cute. Maybe people have a little bit of a comment of how potty we are.
No secrets, Theresa, please.
We could. We could drop a few hints and things about what we're up to. But it's all good fun. It's all good fun. We won't drop you in it too much.
Okay.
Literally. So, because I actually know you live on a boat.
I do.
Oh, where are you based, Lou?
I'm based in Cornwall, so my boat's in the mouth of the River Tamar, which is great fun in the winter. That's sarcasm, by the way. There's no fonts for sarcasm. Yeah, so I live on the mouth of the River Tamar, and it is stunningly beautiful where I live. So I'm just really blessed. But on the other hand, people say to me, you're so lucky where you live. I've engineered all of my life to end up living in a place this beautiful. So it hasn't just happened. And I run my practice out of the village that I live in, but actually the majority of my work is online. So I've got people from America, Australia, Europe, the UK, because Zoom is such a wonderful tool. It is a really lovely tool to use.
Thank goodness. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to whoever. However, sometimes it has a hissy fit, and that's okay. We can work with that. We are, Trojan horses and things. So talk about, the zookeeper. The Singing Zookeeper is your business. So tell us, what actually is it?
Okay, I help people who struggle with anxiety, low self-esteem, confidence, feeling of not being enough. And a lot of us go through that from time to time. I'm called the Singing Zookeeper because I'm sure you recognise that when you get that little dialogue going on in your head that says, you're not good enough and you're stupid and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. Those are called mind monkeys in my world. So what I do is teach people how to tame them and become friends with them. Because what happens is that as we grow up, there's aspects of ourselves that for whatever reason we have to lock down. So for instance, you're running around like a lunatic in the living room when you're 3 or 4 and your mum says, will you behave? Will you sit down? There's a little marker goes up in your head as a 3-year-old goes, I can't do that anymore, ever. So you lock it down. And this little 3-year-old kid is holding on to this. So this little 3-year-old turns into a mind monkey at a later stage, maybe when you're going to go and dance at a party. And you get that, I can't dance at my life. And this little voice comes up and says, no, you can't do it. You're looking stupid. So that's to give you an idea of where the mind monkeys come in.
Wow.
So we end up feeling that they're wrong, the voices, and they're not. What those little voices need is a bit of recognition and an understanding, and then they become your ally.
They're your friends then, aren't they? Yeah.
Then they become your friends.
And I suppose in business, my darling, because we've got lots of business ladies watching today, actually, I'm going to go on the women path. I know you don't just work with ladies, you work with everybody there. But actually, as a girlie, I was told donkeys loads of times, I'm a girl, I can't do that.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a generational thing, because I'm in the refugees. Maybe it was, but the fact it wasn't from my mum and dad. It wasn't my mum and dad, because my mum and dad were neutral. We did everything. But at school, I have a real thought there of asking for something at school, to do something, and it was a boy thing. And I was told, no, I'm a girl, I can't do that.
We were very gender funneled. I know I was when I was a youngster, but I went to an all-girls school, which actually didn't
Golly.
help me at all. It didn't help me at all. I've got an aversion to Irish nuns. I actually have palpitations when I see one. And
Oh, you have a dog?
I'm going to put my dog down there.
It's your hot water bottle.
Yes, he was. He was keeping me warm, but he was going to start messing back. So we were very gender orientated as I was growing up, the same as you, that we have a funnel. And actually, if you look at the world of big business, even now, it is very similar in the respect that it tends to be, this is me making a very sweeping statement, so don't all cry out and say, oh, you're wrong. It's a very sweeping statement. I look at people of my daughter's generation, she's 27, and she had a partner who's very ambitious, and it was very male orientated. Whoa, she was a second-class citizen in his eyes because he was going to power to the top. So women have to work really hard to overcome those issues. But then on the other hand, there are some brilliant women out there who've just shed it. Doesn't matter.
And it's not easy to do that, is it? It's not easy to take that overcoat off of I am confident, I am worthy, I can do this bloody stuff.
This starts from within. What happens generally, this is a general statement, it's not to do with business, it's a general statement. What we tend to do is we start to observe the world outside, and we're taught to do this as kids. This is how we learn to do things as we grow up. So we observe the world outside, and we're looking for our cues from the world outside. And this needs to be turned on its head. We need to take our cues from the inside. And then where the areas of, for instance, self-confidence comes from, the areas where you're wobbling a little bit, to go in and examine that, to actually work out that isn't for you to go in and beat yourself up because you're not confident about it, but just to go in and find out what it is that's creating the lack of confidence. I'll give you an example. It's a bit gruesome, so forgive me.
Okay, it's early morning, let's do it.
I'll keep the details to a minimum where I can, but we end up having these experiences as we grow up, and as I said, we lock them away, and then when they rear themselves up, we don't recognize them for what they are. We just notice the uncomfortableness, the discomfort that they bring up. And every time I start a new project, and you know this, I would go to pieces, meltdown.
We've had a few calls.
Yes. This image in my head, and this is only recent, but this image in my head keeps coming up about this puppet show that I was going to put on when I was about 7. And I went around and sold tickets, and I was excited about it and sold all the tickets, got all the money, and then forgot to put the puppet show on. So, of course, all the audience, who tended to be the big boys from down the road in the estate, all rocked up. And were angry because the puppet show wasn't on. So they made a demand, which sadly turned into sexual abuse. And as a consequence, I hadn't remembered it that way. But every time I go to start a new project, this discomfort comes up in me because I'd locked it down, wouldn't remember it in the correct form. It took a lot for me to remember it. But now I do remember it. I've let it go and gone in and healed that tiny little girl of 7 who was upset, confused, guilty, the works, and let it all go. In fact, in my imagination, because I do a lot of imagination work and it works beautifully, I went after these guys as a 7-year-old with a baseball bat. This baseball bat was bigger than me. Now, I'm not advocating that you do it in real life.
Yeah.
But in my imagination, I went out and did what I felt I should have done at that time. So as a consequence, starting a new project now doesn't have that discomfort. So we all have these locks. Yep. So when the discomfort comes up, the lack of confidence or the uncertainty, go in and find something. It probably won't be as horrendous as that, but go in and find what the trigger is and go in with compassion.
Yes, I was just going to say, be kind to yourself.
Yes, as women, and I think predominantly women, we beat ourselves up.
Mm-hmm.
We're harsh with ourselves, we're critical, we are cruel to ourselves, we neglect ourselves in certain ways. But if you had a best friend who was treating another friend like that, you'd have a go at her, wouldn't you? You'd say, wait, poor old Sarah
sort
needs
it
to
out.
be,
Yeah.
yeah, you can't beat her up. Just, you know, she ain't going to be your friend if you do that. So to go inside and learn how to become compassionate with yourself, and it is such a beautiful thing where you start to take your own counsel rather than looking at the world on the outside. And then whether it's male orientated or not, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think it's that word "I can't," isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, that comes to me when you're talking. In my experience, a lot of people don't know about me out there, so a little secret coming out here. A lot of people do, but I'm dyslexic, and in my I think it's the, you know, self-counsel. I love that word. You know, throughout the years of I don't know if you had this word, but this word remedial came into my world an awful lot as a child.
No, I was just a really evil child because I was educated by nuns. So,
so you like lockdown. Yeah. I was in remedial classes, and remedial to me at that time, and to everybody, I think, as a child, was you're silly, you're dense, you're stupid, you can't do
special needs.
You have got special needs, as we all do now. We all know that everybody in the whole damn world has a special need, because we're different. We're all different, which is an amazing thing.
But this is the beauty of it.
Love it. Yeah.
This is the beauty of it. You know, we grow up as girls and we funnel ourselves down these sort of, so that we end up looking like clones of whoever we've decided to become clones of. And then we feel less of people because we don't look exactly like that person. And we're not taught to be different.
And
the whole beauty of it is the fact that we're different.
Yeah.
Makes this world so amazing.
Absolutely.
And dyslexia, how many gifts has dyslexia given you?
Oh, I just, you know, creativity, to be able to, I'm going to use a term, think out the box, but I don't think even it's a box. I think it's like,
yeah, we're into box. If it's dyslexic, there's no box.
Just like what's going on in the world, and to be able to be compassionate, have empathy, to feel my gut feeling is a huge thing in my life.
Yeah,
and I think
me too.
You know, so you actually know. Hence, we get on. We're a bit mad. And sometimes actually, even as a confident person. I'm going to
stop you there. Can I just say something?
Yeah,
we might be a bit mad, but I want you to understand that crazy isn't crazy until you put a label on it, and until then it's just good fun.
Fabulous.
That was
Love
from
it.
Richard Bandler, who's the guy who taught me to do my NLP.
I'm going to put that back in my thing. You know, I just think we just need to be us, and we sort of going back to our, and I'm not saying it's easy, ladies out there. You know, we've been there, done it. We've fallen over. We've fell in puddles. We've definitely fallen out of trees. We've put our foot in it because people don't understand what we're trying to say, because we're not always that articulate. You know, we're all sometimes just like bullet of cake. You know, we're gonna say it because it's really needed to say. You know, and I probably, if I ever found them, excuse me, the people I used to work with in the bank. How logically, man, that's not me, you know. And they said, I can't do that. It's another label. You cannot do it this way. You have to do it that way. And you go, well, that doesn't make sense. So you hold on to that. It's not it doesn't make sense. It's you hold on to that label. I don't make sense.
You internalize it. You make it
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So out there in the world, my darlings, if you have this amazing dream, you want to go and do something that people are going, oh, you can't do that. What gives you the right to think that you can do that? And you can see it. You say about visualization. You can see it. You can feel it. You can imagine that it's all happening around you and it's busy and you've got clients climbing at the doors. Just go for it.
Absolutely. Now, the other thing is that you're saying about sort of labels and internalizing and so on. The majority of people who are really successful don't believe in their labels. They just do it. Mm-hmm. They just do it. Now, the thing is that particularly with social media and with TV and so on, we're presented with successful people all the time. But what we don't see is how many times they've fallen over. Because we have this sort of where it comes from, I'm not sure, because I haven't analysed it, but we have this ideal that we set up a business, we work, and it'll become successful. And it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you'll take a wrong turning and fall over, or you, as you say, fall out of a tree, or you fall flat down into a puddle. But that's where the learning is. That is where the growth is. That is where the strength and the resilience comes from to continue doing what you're aiming towards. The clearer you become, the better it is. The more mistakes you make, the more you learn, and the more you can offer to your clients. So having this illusion that I'm going to set up a business and it's just going to be like that is delusional, because it's going to, and life does this. Life is like that. And think about it as the sea, you know, it's rising, it's falling, the waves are coming in, the waves are going out. Nothing ever is constant. And again, we fight in our personal lives as well as work-wise, because I have the same work-wise, you know, oh, I haven't got clients coming in now, it'd be nice if I had clients coming in. And then I check myself, it's like, okay, the wave's gone out, it'll come back in again.
Yeah.
So to understand that life fluctuates all of the time, it can't be perfect all of the time, and to stop trying to change the world and just deal with it as the world comes to you. And then it becomes very gentle, very sweet and very relaxed. Whereas if you've got, shit, that's coming my way, I can do nothing about it, but that's uncomfortable. Let it come.
Yeah, and I think that whole, I love the flow. And I think that's a lot of people out there in this mad, and I'm going to touch on 2020, because it is a challenge, and there are people out there who are struggling, and there are people out there who have lost their businesses or lost their job, or their partner has lost their job, etc., etc. And it's really tough to let it flow.
Yeah.
Because you are so tight from other people and other people's words, and the press are saying X amount of people are out of jobs and they're going to have the worst Christmas in the world, and they're going to, next year's going to be X amount of people.
So that makes me feel bad, you just stating that.
Absolutely.
So
it's
my
wrong.
advice is to be very careful about what you're taking in through your eyes. Be very careful about what you watch. What information you're taking in. So for instance, if you're going to turn the television on, check in with yourself before you start watching the TV. How am I feeling right now? Okay, this is how I'm feeling. So become clear. Then turn on the TV. And if you feel that your mood's changing, then you know that's an external trigger. That's something that's going on the outside. And if it's making you feel bad, turn it off.
Turn it bloody off. That's what the button's for, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't have to watch it.
Yeah, or turn it over. I watch comedy, and I actually watch the news through platforms, comedy platforms. I know you've got people watching from different countries, but you know, Have I Got News for You, The Last Leg, Mock the Week. That's how I watch the news, because I like to see the spin that the comedians put on it, not the spin that the politicians put on it.
Yes.
And then I can come up with an informed decision, and it's made me laugh and it's made me feel good while I'm listening to the shit that's going on in the world. And it doesn't matter whether we've got a pandemic going on or no pandemic, there's always something crap going on.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because the news thrives on it. So the fluctuation that's going on at the moment, people don't tend to realize that the fluctuation is always there. But because we're so cerebral, we've got our big brains, and our big brains logicalize everything and think things through, and we use our frontal cortex to make things happen and to formulate opinions and so on. We don't notice actually this constant flux and flow. We don't notice it. We're so disconnected from the rhythms of nature, in effect, if you want to get down to, you know, brass tacks.
Yeah.
Our Saxon friends were totally in rhythm with nature, and they didn't bitch when things didn't go right. I know this because a friend of mine was on the Channel 4 program, How Did We Live in the Saxon Times, and the Stone Age times, forgive me. And they didn't bitch about it. It was just, this is the way it is. It's raining, I can't go hunting deer, so it is.
Yes.
And this is how it is now, but we are so dictated to that this is how it should be. And
It's what it is, isn't it?
It is what it is. It is what it is. And an acceptance of what's going on makes life easier. And I know that's tough for people who have lost income, who are not sure about the financial circumstances at the moment. But the question, you have 3 questions. Am I okay right now in this minute? This minute, this second, right now, am I okay? The answer is going to be yes. The thing I'm worried about, can I do something about it right now, this minute? The answer is going to be no. Have I got a problem right now in this minute where you're sitting or standing, or you feel your cheekbones on the chair or your elbows on the arms of the chair? Have you got a problem in this second? The answer is no. So to become present and to stay in the present moment is the task that we've all been given. And we've been given this opportunity because of this fluctuation, that this is the only place that's constant. This is the only part of you that's with you for 24/7.
Yep. Yep. Oh, I love it.
A week. And it's beautiful. And things do turn up. At the very beginning of lockdown, I was starting my business. No income. I'd got a second job. No income. Nada. Nothing. I had friends rocking up with food parcels. I didn't ask them, but they rocked up with food parcels. A local charity sent me some money because my computer had gone on the blink. Another charity sent me some money later on when I didn't need it, which I sent back. So there is help available, and the more relaxed and the more compassionate you become to yourself, the more you notice these things coming towards you. And I know that sounds really glib, but I'm speaking from my own experience when I was feeling pretty damn desperate, frightened because I hadn't got money and how was I going to eat. I didn't stay with the fear. I'm okay right now. Nothing I can do about it right now. I haven't got a problem right now. And it just came to me. And since that, during lockdown, I've built my business up.
Yeah,
and I'm
awesome.
doing very well.
And I've watched it. I've seen it. It's fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And I think where we are in the world is, wherever we are in the world, is about making us realise it's the energy that we put into our life and the energy that we give people out. That's what we will receive. Again, your ebb and flow. Yeah. It has to happen. And if we can sort of let go of the things that we are perceived to be doing wrong, then actually,
this is the thing that we have all these seeds put in us. Oh, that's wrong, and you shouldn't do this, and you shouldn't do that, and you shouldn't do that. Who says?
Yeah.
Where's the evidence?
Somebody else has decided.
Somebody else. Absolutely. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh,
really?
Who says?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Give me the evidence why I shouldn't do that.
If you look at people, sorry, my darling, if you look at people over our history that we know, the people that stand out from the crowd are the people who have literally put their head above the parapet. Literally and it could have been knocked off.
The thing is, though, people, and this is what's happening with a lot of people at the moment, when we get outside of our comfort zone, it's a new space. So we're in a new environment. So if you can think about a bulb, okay, underneath the surface of the soil, and it's growing and its little shoot is coming up. As it's pushing through the soil, that's really uncomfortable. And then it gets up here and it's like, oh no, oh God, this is scary. This is the point where we're all at the moment. It's all a bit scary because it's all a bit new. And then the insecurities come up. But the thing is that the growth has already happened. You've done the growth. And the insecurity is just because it's new. So just embrace the fact that it's new and recognize that the sort of that's going on inside. Go in and become compassionate to that tiny little bit of you that's going, because you're right. You've got it. You've done the hard work.
You've got there. You have got there already. Oh, I love it, Lou. Absolutely love it. So if we've got ladies out there which are watching, some people, hopefully, are actually saying, I've started this business. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh God, was it the right decision? Oh my God, I've been made redundant and I've had to do something and I've done this. And they're feeling that thing, you know, that whole, oh my God, what's going on? What would you say to them right now?
Okay, I go back to those 3 questions. Am I okay right now this minute? Can I change anything right now this minute? And am I, you know, safe and what have you now, this minute, right now? Have I got a problem? Because the answer is going to be no. For me, if you're in a situation now where you're like this, you're in a state of flux, create some clarity. So have a think about what your skills are. And this isn't, oh, I'm good at accounting, you know, I'm good at skipping. It doesn't matter what it is. Have a look at what your skills are. Look at the things that you like to do, the things that make you feel good. And you and I have done this. We did an ikigai, but it doesn't need to be done in that format. But look at the things that really light you up. Yeah, the things that really light you up. And start to actually look at the things that you're good at. Not necessarily the things that you like, but the things that you're really good at, and start to put them down on paper. What this does, it creates confidence within you, because actually the action of writing something down rather than putting it down on a computer uses different hemispheres of your brain. You have to literally use both hemispheres of your brain to write. And as a consequence, you are changing your neurochemistry by writing down these things, and you are taking on these things that you are good at. So they're physically going in, because on a peripheral, it's like, I'm good at skipping, and that's it. It's a thought, it's in, it's gone. If you're physically writing it down, you are having to use both hemispheres of your brain. You're creating new neural pathways, and you start to own what it is that you're writing down, and then hone it, and look at what you can do with that, because those are the gifts that you've got to give to the world. And as I said, don't make them business orientated. As you can hear, I'm a good gasser. You know, I can talk really well. That's not a business skill. I'm just good at gassing, and I like talking. So it's one of my skills. So put them all down, even if you think that they're not specifically useful. You know, baking, I love baking. Put them all down and make sure that with every single one of them, you feel them.
Love it.
Get to know what your body likes. So just to give your ladies a quick tip. So for instance, if you conjure up a thought that makes you feel dread, okay, can you feel it in your system? Can you feel it in your body? Where does it come up?
Oh, for my tummy and up here.
Right, okay. So that's you talking to your primal system, your limbic system, your lizard brain, whatever you want to call it. It is really important for us to get in touch with this. It's the wisest and the quickest bit of us that's been around for millions of years. And if you meet somebody down the street, this has got that person instantly. And then our brains go in and go, blah, 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 mess it up, and we haven't got a clue what it's just said to us. Because our brains think it's quicker and cleverer than this. So with that list that you're doing, really anchor all of those lovely feelings. I cook brilliant brownies. What does that feel like? I love dance. What does that feel like? Really anchor it into your system. And the stronger this system is with all of these feelings that you understand, the calmer the anxious mind becomes, because it has more trust in you. Because we've got different aspects of our minds that are all fighting with each other and nobody's leading it. This guy here is the one that's got it. But this guy up here, or these people up here, need to understand that this is the guy that's got you.
We're in control here.
Yeah, always has.
Oh, wow.
When this gets strong, you become secure and confident. And when you notice you're going, oh, go back here, and you go,
and it all comes down, doesn't it? It's like, we're good. Beautiful. We're good. Oh, wow. What an awesome, that's a fab thing to share. Thank you so much, my darling. It's been, love it. And we're going to catch up very, very quickly to see if we can do something. You know, there's so many people out there in our little land, and we are little, we're only a little group, you know, that can do with some support in something.
Theresa, can I mention Saturday the 12th?
Yeah, go for it.
Saturday the 12th, if you go to the Singing Zookeeper either website or Facebook page, Saturday the 12th there's a workshop that I'm doing. It's a really straightforward workshop just to get us settled during these weird times, because we're leading up to Christmas. It isn't Christmassy themed at all, but it really is to give you some insights as to what's tipping us. And remember when I said about the fact that we actually have done the majority of the hard work, and at this point we're feeling sort of a little bit in the wind. So what I'm going to be doing is doing some tips, tricks, mind hacks, some fun games, turning some of our thinking right upside down on its head, so that when you finish the workshop you're going to feel more secure within yourself, and also you'll be smiling at some of the things that you tell yourself off about. We'll be playing, it's called the dating game, and it's flipping hilarious. So if you guys are around, it's at 6 o'clock in the evening, so that we've got people on both sides of the pond accommodated for, and it finishes at 10 o'clock in the evening. It's Saturday night. We ain't going to be going anywhere.
We're not partying.
No, we're not. Well, you can join in with a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
I don't advise it. I'd say have it afterwards, but because it's going to be sharp. But it'll be a fun workshop, so please come and join me. It's on Eventbrite as well.
So send me the link and I'll put it in the thread.
Oh, fab. Yeah,
no worries.
Fantastic. So if
This
anybody wants to come and join me, it'll be fun. And you'll be able to remember, you know, I was saying about the little kids holding the doors shut and so on. We'll be looking at some of those guys and opening our arms to them and giving them big munchies and kisses instead of bashing them on their head with a saucepan and telling them that they're wrong.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, send me the link and we'll bung it all over the group, and hopefully you get some people there to have a bit of fun with you.
Yay!
I'll have the bottle of wine on ice.
Fantastic. So it's white.
Oh,
White for you then, Theresa.
Anything.
Yeah, it's white.
Okay.
I have got to go because I have got a lady. I've got a client coming up, so I will catch up with you soon. It's fantastic to catch up with you. I haven't seen you for ages.
I know. Let me just say bye to the lovely ladies who are watching. Thank you, everybody, for joining. You know, Lou and I are really cool friends. It's a pleasure that you've been here, sweetheart. And we will catch up, and I will send you a little link.
We're going to do the opposite. In January on my membership group, you're going to come on and talk to the ladies there that want to set up businesses.
Oh, I am.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Good fun. But love you to all, everyone. Have a fantastic day, what's left of it, and just enjoy. Go back to your heart, believe what you believe, and let all that naggy stuff go and enjoy your day. So love you, Lou.
Absolutely.
Thanks to everybody. Take care. Bye.